everyone. This is a follow-up to the basic meditation practice of posture and breathing. I wanted to discuss some challenges you might have, some general reactions, and just ways of being with the practice. So the first tip is to really spend some time with it. It seems simple, however, we can really deepen into that. And so I recommend before advancing onto other practices, you really take some time with the posture and breathing practice where you are vertical and you are just tuning in to that posture and that breathing. And I also recommend, no matter where you are in your mindfulness journey, to come back around to that basic elemental practice frequently. And maybe even to take a good chunk of time to really focus on it. It's just easy to get away from our bodies in today's world, especially where we are having so many tools and so much of what we do is non-movement based. And so getting into our bodies is a process in today's world and a necessity to really focus with intention on. And like the practice of Pilates, I recommend taking this posture and breathing practice to a really granular level. You know, you're really becoming more aware, you're pixelating your experience, and you're making it as vivid as possible in just exactly how your posture is feeling throughout your body, in your different body systems, the muscles, the nervous system, even the tissues, the organs. You can actually tune into all of that as you sit with the posture. And then, of course, the breathing, you're really focusing on your respiratory system and you're paying attention to all the small, minute details that you don't normally notice with this involuntary action of breathing. Also, you can glean so much information from this practice. So as I was, posting it recently, I got back into it myself and was really leaning into it. And I was confirming to myself what I already knew, that my nervous system is not functioning well right now. And there's a couple ways I know that. As I was doing the practice, I could feel how tough it was to hold myself in that straight, aligned posture. I could feel almost like a crunchiness along my vertebrae and a compression. And I've also noticed recently my orgasms are not as strong. And so all these things together are telling me my nervous system is not functioning well. It's not functioning optimally. And so I made an appointment and got into the chiropractor, even though I knew I needed to do that 2 or 3 months ago when my neck started to bother me again. And that's usually my first sign. And unfortunately, we often don't respond to our body's first signs, and that's what creates problems in health. But being proactive is so important in responding to those first signs. Chiropractic care obviously is one of the holistic practices and treatments that's a little bit more readily available because it tends to be reimbursable by insurances more widely than, for instance, acupuncture, which I also feel is such a powerful, important treatment for the nervous system and a proactive treatment for the nervous system. But a lot of times we're doing it when we have all these problems already, that it can be so good if you have access to acupuncture. And I want to honor that not everybody does for financial reasons, but massage as well. Those three are really, really good for posture and the nervous system. You can also notice just things like how clean the air is and how your respiratory system is responding to the air. I really recommend halotherapy. It's where you go into an active salt room, where the salt is actually kind of blown into the air, and so you're inhaling it. And that can be another really good holistic maintenance treatment to keep your body working optimally. So again, as you're focusing on your posture and your breathing, you can really glean the important information that you need to take care of yourself. Some of the challenges that might come up, one, you might be cut off from your body. Most people today are, I find, just in practicing psychotherapy, that most people are cut off from their body and in leading meditations, right? So you might find that you barely notice anything. That's a good sign that you are cut off from your body. And so just pay attention to that, acknowledge that. If you feel like you don't really notice much, then there is a level of disconnection between your mind, your consciousness, and your body. And the more that you can bring those things together, the better off you'll be. So that might be the first thing that you notice, is that you don't notice much of anything, which is an important signal. The second thing is you might be really uncomfortable. Now, maybe this is because you have medical concerns that, change your posture, or maybe you smoke and tuning into your breathing can be an uncomfortable thing if you're really paying, deep attention to it. And so I just want to honor that there are all kinds of health reasons that this practice might be uncomfortable with. And to just honor that if that's your experience. And there are other practices, but as much as you can do this practice, tuning into your alignment of your spinal cord and your breathing, the better off that you will be. So just finding that balance for yourself. Also, there may be a lot of other reasons to be uncomfortable as you're tuning into your body. And that might be that there's been abuse. Maybe there's been physical or sexual abuse enacted on your body. And so even something as simple as tuning into posture and breathing is very disarming, to say the least. It might be that you have had a medical trauma or an accident. And again, tuning into the body is re-traumatizing. It might be that you don't feel at home in your body because it's never been the sex that you feel at home in, right? For gender identification reasons. And again, all of these things can and should be honored and met with as much compassion as you can. And with all practices, once again, we are looking for the right balance to where we are not pushing ourselves over an edge, where we become dysregulated, but we are gradually seeking to expand our experience. And each person can do that for themselves and just really try to lean in. Is this too uncomfortable? Then let me pull myself back. And not abandon the practice of becoming aware of my body. Because no matter what the circumstances, that practice is always going to lead to gems and magnificence overall. So I hope that you are enjoying, to some extent, that practice, but also know that these are some of the challenges that might come up. And, also to put out there Masked Wolf's brilliant line, put that shit in slow motion. That is also the beauty. Slowing down allows us to notice so much and be with so much. And that can be uncomfortable and it can be really powerful. So again, just find the right edge for yourself.